Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I'm happy to be bringing you the Toy WW2 US Airborne Division set. Just came about, what, 1 day, 2 days ago. So now it's got a chance to crack it open and review it for you guys and to have a play myself. So recently I reviewed the US Army set, that would be suggested videos. That was pretty cool, though people did comment a lot saying there's a lot of inaccuracies with the guns and other stuff, and some of the German sets they said the uniform was wrong and so forth. So any of you guys who are what's I want to say, up to date's the wrong word. Any of you guys who are familiar or intimate with the uniforms and weapons of World War II soldiers, troops, etc., etc., can comment in the comment section below about the accuracy or inaccuracy of these figures and the stuff they come with. Okay, so we have our paperwork. They do come with a lot of stuff. It's actually quite a good value set, and it shows you on this side with their stuff on. I'll see how that's all going to attach a bit later. So I'll put that to the side, I might need that. And then here we have our weapons and, oh I see, their front and back packs are combined. Our weapons parts. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at our chutes and whatnot. Goes around the waist, quite flexible here, which is nice. And there's a little hole here which this part goes into, but that is going to be quite tough, I think, to get in nicely. Loosely will be okay, but getting nice to lock I think would be quite tough. So obviously we have 5 of these, 1 for each soldier. Hello. And we also have this, what's this, like the webbing? I think that goes underneath it as well. That's going to be fun to work out how that fits on. Okay. Weapons, we have 5 machine guns. Look pretty cool. Someone can comment on the accuracy if they are the correct ones for the correct units and correct years and whatnot. We have 2 other machine guns which are different to the previous ones. And we have 2 rifles. And we have, it looks like, another bazooka, and I believe there's probably a round in the a shell, I guess, around a shell in the bag of small parts and joints here. Let me have a look. Yes, there is. Seems to be the same bazooka as we saw in the US Army set. So here, we have 1 gas mask head here. Shame there's not more. That's a nice looking head. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 pairs of hands, 4 spare sets of their new joint system. We have the shell for the shell round, whatever, for the bazooka, and that does fit in. We have 2 sidearms. They are different to each other. And we have the gas mask head, which looks nice, looks really nice, but it needs to be painted. It seems to be unpainted in the apart from the hair and the flesh, the mask itself is unpainted, but that is really cool. I would be tempted to make some copies of that for customs and other stuff. That does look really quite nice. Okay, I'm going to put this stuff, or the hands and the wrist joints, back in here. Now it is worth noting that the new system on the Toy, or relatively new, probably about 3 months old I'd imagine, but at this point or something like that, the new system on the joints on the hands is that the hand can swivel separately to the wrist. So you must move the hand to line up with the joint, and you can change to any position you want. It's not fixed in just this or just this. You can change and move it around. Okay, that's that stuff out. I'm going to have to look at pictures to work out how all this stuff fits on, but never mind. Let's look at the figures, and then we can come back and put some equipment on and see how they look. So there are 5 figures. Unlike the US Army set, there's no black guy, no black figure in this one, which is a shame, but for historical accuracy it kind of makes sense, since they were generally, or vast majority of the time, in units of just black people, because of there was still quite a lot of segregation back then, unfortunately. Okay, let's have a look. All the face sculpts are different. The eyes are still a bit too... They're good, but I think they're getting better. Still not 100% great. This guy here has got a beard. He looks fantastic. Let's show you the face sculpts. He looks really good. Loads of potential for him. And the helmet does come off. So a bit harder with him because he's got the beard. There we go. So the helmets do come off. He is a great looking figure, I have to say. I do like that. I do like the head sculpt. Next one. He's got like a short back and sides. Looks pretty cool. The other thing I should notice is the helmets, they have the goggles on the top, which obviously are fixed, but the goggles aren't painted on the lenses, which is a shame, but never mind. Okay, this guy here, he's a short back and sides blondie, look at that. At least it's not the gold metallic hair we saw on some other figures. But that is a great looking head again. Now, I believe these are the only differences on the figures. Actually, I'm telling a lie. There's actually more. No, on that, there's the only difference. I thought there was more, but he had something that was moved around. Guy number 4. He's a... Oh God, he looks like a spanked bottom. Very sad looking face. Probably scared of heights. Doesn't want to jump out of a plane. Still good head sculpt again. Good that there's a different emotional expression on there. And then guy number 5, not sure if he's sort of... God, he's a baldy. Oh, he looks... I love a good bald head. Probably because I'm heading that way myself. But he, he looks pretty cool as well. Okay, so other than the head, let me have a quick check. I think that is the only difference between them. All got shovels which can be... Are those shovels glued on? The shovels can come off. They've got a, it looks like a little tag. Yeah, shovels can come off. Oh, you can see it on camera. Should I take it off? It looks like it might be glued on, but I get the impression that it can come off. There's a little tag inside there. You can just about see it down there. But is that fixed or... Okay, let's have a try, since I'm supposed to be reviewing it. Okay, so you can see that this part is stuck on the shovel, and there's a little hole there, so that should in theory reattach. Otherwise I might have just broken my new figure, but that's okay. That's what review is for, so you guys don't get to break yours. Can I fix this back in? Ta-da! And it does go back in. You can take the bags off, all this sort of stuff can come off, which is great. And now my shovel's coming off, so maybe it's best not to take it off. Just screw it on again. I say screw, it's not really a screw, but that's the sort of action you do to try and keep it in. Okay. The shovel is very flexible plastic, so you know the handle bends and whatnot. Okay, so let's have a look. So the front seem all identical. They all appear to have exactly the same equipment as you would expect. All got shovels. All have got these holsters on the side. Oh, Joy Toy, what are you doing? But they are one piece. You cannot open, cannot take out the gun. That is a shame. But it does keep costs down, I guess, because these would cost a lot more to make with all this extra stuff. Okay, so they are all the same. So I'll just do the articulation on one. I'll do the articulation as they are now with this basic equipment on. And then I'll do the articulation after I've put on the other stuff. But I'll put the other stuff on off camera because I think that'll take too long. So, looks left, looks right, down, up, side to side. Pretty good so far. Shoulders. Yeah, that's nice. Not too much interference, so he does get over flat on both, like almost like my t-shirt here. Bicep band, which is quite important, so they can hold their rifles particularly well. And we always want a minimum of 90. He gets just over 90 on each arm. The wrists. Swivel the hands, swivel the wrist, swivel the joint, and you've got articulation every direction. It's a great idea, but I'm not that keen on it. Okay. The reason being, if you can't see the joint line to know which way it goes, if you force it, you can break. So now I've got his right hand doing this, but to swivel it up to get the other direction, there we go. And now I've got his hand doing the gun articulation. To get the alignment, to get it right, is not so easy, and you risk breaking the joints, but they do give you 4 spare ones. Okay, and he does swivel up the bicep as well. He has trunk, which is sort of hidden by the belt line here. So he can dip forwards and backwards, dip side to side, turn from the trunk. He has waist, he can turn from. Hips, the clothes are going to really... Actually, it's this sculpt and the clothes really stop his legs from going out. Forwards, not great. Backwards is surprisingly good, to be fair. Backwards is much better than forwards. They have double kneecaps, and I think the sculpt, yeah, it doesn't really get in the way, so really nice and tight on that. And then the feet, there is no toe articulation, which you kind of get used to from Joy Toy, but that is some of the best tippy toes you'll ever see. This is the Airborne Ballerina Division. Here's dorsal flexation. Here's Michael Jackson. Fantastic. Look at that. It's really an amazing angle on that. And then, does he have a turn? There is no turn. There's only a swivel side to side. You turn and swivel, but no flat turn, which is a bit disappointing. But other than that, he's pretty cool. Okay, so what I am going to do now is get his arm down. I'm going to see if I can attach some of this crap to these guys. And then I'm going to come back and show you guys. So I'm going to pause the camera, do this, and come back, because this might take me a long time. And you guys will be falling asleep, getting bored, blah, 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 etc. Okay, so I'll be back in an instant for you, and maybe 17 days for me, depending how long it takes me. Back in a moment. Okay, I've done this guy, and I'll be perfectly honest, that's something I'm not going to repeat on the other 4. That was incredibly tedious and took a long time. The issue for me is, these you put on first. These are quite easy to put on, so you can pop off the arms, the legs, the trunk, sorry, the legs, the trunk, whatever, very easy to put on. This part, you have to take off their little backpack they come with first. Putting this on, oh, that nightmare. Actually, I think it was more of a nightmare for me, because this front part does come off and it popped off the first one. And getting that on the trunk is easy, but once that's on, getting this on after is really hard, because what happens is the legs pop off because of the way they're made. You put the legs back on and you've got to try and put this back on. So I think if I do this again in the future, I have to make sure that this is on really securely. See, even now I'm trying to put it on, it's not going on. There we go. Onto this first before I put it on. But the problem is, as you're putting on, there's a good chance it might just pop off like that, and then you're going to be going getting very annoyed like I was beginning to, and some unpretty words are coming out of my mouth. So I'm just going to stick this on now again very quickly. I'm going to use a little metal tool here, so I'm going to go very firmly on around each edge, or as best as I can. But for me, that would need a slightly bigger peg, or that should be one piece, not a separate piece. I understand it being two pieces so it can swivel and turn and whatnot, but that's just too tedious. And if someone's got a much easier way than the way I did it, then I'll be very happy to know. So all I did, if I take this guy here, first thing I did, having just said I won't do it again, I'm doing it again now. Take off this backpack here, because you can't wear both at the same time. Well, if you can, someone tell me how, because I haven't figured that out, unless that goes right up there, which might be the case. But I'm not going to do that now. Okay. This one can come back on, that's not an issue. But in the pictures, they have this strap over these straps. These are quite easy to put on. So you can just sit his legs in, work up, and then it gets to near the top. You want to put both arms in at the same time. Spade can go inside or outside. I think I'll just try inside. So 1, 2. No need to take him apart for that whatsoever. Okay, now he's got the first part on, and he's looking nice and comfortable wearing his stuff there. That's the first part. Now, what I did, I just told you something wrong there. If I'm doing that, to get that on very easily, but what I think is probably easier, but I could well be wrong. Let me just take this off again. Let me leave it on from there. Is to I want to take his trunk off. Then you see that was pushed on tightly and it's come off already. And then I want to wrap this around his trunk and then attach his trunk back to his hips. However, because the trunk and the hips are connected, that's how they connect, by this Y connector. When you put a part on, it's moving the legs around, it's moving the trunk around, and it often just pops the legs off. So let me just try and get this securely on again. Let me just use another one I haven't taken off first. Let's use that one. Okay. Because if I do this without, it's probably going to work and that'll be really easy. Then again, maybe it will work. That's got to stretch around, and I've got to attach this belt part to here. That's going to be right underneath his armpits, and you've really got to stretch this. You know what? After all that hard work, I just found a much easier way. Okay, let's try and push that in. I think I just made my extra work for myself that reason. Of what I do have before I do that, and I do suggest that you get a pair of these anyway, handy. Tweezers. Tweezers are fantastic for doing toy work like this, because you can just pull things. You can pull that little tab through the little hole, so it gets to its locked tight position. That's if this front part doesn't pop off its little peg first, which happened the first time I tried it this way. Okay, that is there. Can I get a grip? not a tight enough grip. Just push that a bit more in. Aha, it looks like I have just about got success. But because it's stretched the fit, this is now not quite in the center, it's off to his right. And I didn't put his bag back on first, but that can go on, his side satchel, that can go on now. Ugh! Okay, note to self, don't take him apart, just stick over and push on. But then as you can see, that's annoying me now because it's stretched so far. That is not in the center, but never mind. Pretty cool. Okay, let's look at some of the other guys hold their weapons, not look at the guys with their stuff because it's a bit unfair. That's going to get in the way. And I will look at the gas mask head too. Where's my bearded guy? Where's Mr. Beardy? That's not Mr. Beardy. Is he standing? He's standing up here. Okay, so let's look at all the weapons first of all. So this one, God, that stock looks a bit long to fit into his shoulder. Let's try and get his hand in place first. Now, depending on what pose you want, I think he'll hold this particularly well. But the hands want a bit more spring in them, ideally. So like that is okay. But as soon as I bring the stock to his shoulder, his hand wants to pop out of the pop off the handle because the stock is slightly too long for him to hold nicely. So this stock was maybe half a centimeter, 5 millimeters smaller. I think it would be absolutely perfect for him to hold really well into his shoulder. If I keep it away from his shoulder, he can still hold it. But it perhaps won't look quite as good. Okay, not too bad, all things considered. That's okay, not bad. The other machine gun, much shorter stock, I would imagine will be substantially easier, or at least I'd hope it would be. But on this one, the clip at the front's quite far away, so he'll struggle to get his hand to that clip. So what I would do is change the hand position to a different part of the gun. And he does look pretty mean with that one. The get some tissue for my nose back in a second. Ooh. The rifles. His hand looks okay for the rifles. Normally when rifles don't have a handle here, they've got a hole like that, figures often struggle. The stock is still a bit of a way from the trigger part, but I reckon he'll hold this quite nicely, judging by his hand position. But let me see. But he'll look quite cool, but he won't get as tight a grip as we would like. So I don't want the gun just to be resting, I want it to be like holding the gun. That's sort of so close. His fingers need to be a different. He needs to have his hands in a different position, really. Okay, that one's holding. And so his left hand is holding, his trigger hand is resting, but that does look really good. Very, very nice. We have the bazooka we saw previously, so I won't show that. That was on the what do you call it? The US Army set. Okay, so the two pistols. We have the automatic. And this is absolutely perfect. Just about. Actually, no, it's not. His finger fits perfectly in the hole, but his finger needs to be more that way, so it secures it. Because if I just put his finger in the hole, he's gonna have the gun sort of out to the side. So if I have the gun straight in his hand, the finger is, whoa, just about can do it nicely there. Yeah, in fact, he holds it very nicely, but it's only just about. I'd really prefer that finger to be slightly more and to go into the hole so it's more secure. Okay, and then the revolver. This one he doesn't hold well at all. He can do just about, however, they do have some different hand options. Let's have a look. Oh, are they the same or different? That's more outwards, so I reckon this would be worse for holding it. But he's got a tighter grip at the bottom. Yeah, that's not particularly well he holds that one. Maybe this guy's got the best hands for it. Let's have a look. This guy's got a nice tight grip at the bottom, so I reckon he'll probably hold the pistol better. Yeah, he holds the pistol really, really well. So it's going to depend really on the figure and which hands. Now they only have two spare sets of hands, so one is far more finger for trigger, which is good for the pistol. One is a sort of a standard grip with a not quite, or an open grip, better for rifle, and the other two are fists. Okay, let me get these guys stood up. So my final opinion on these guys, they look the part. They look really, really good. These sort of packs, parachutes, whatever, once they come off, you have to really secure them back on quite tightly to keep them on. They can be really annoying once off, so I'll be tempted to try and keep them on. Having said that, you saw me put one on really quickly a minute ago using tweezers, so do have some tweezers ready. I find it tedious, annoying, but they look fantastic, really great for your dios. My suggestion would be, don't, if you're going to just pose them and display them, put them on, look fantastic. If you're going to have a little play, they're probably not the best to put on. Regards to the, why would you do that for? Oh, his peg stuck in his head, and I don't want a peg stuck in the head. Does it have a peg in this one? Regards to the gas mask helmet, which I was just about to show you. There we go. Whoa, that was stiff. The gas mask helmet looks fantastic, but let's see how it looks on a figure. That is way too big. And yes, I have put the barbell joint in the right way, but that does not want to fit on that on that head. Again, it looks really good, just that I would have painted the visor, the goggle parts. So you can see, in fact, it looks more like a sort of SS Nazi trooper of that one, quite sinister. That looks really good. The articulation is great on these, just there's no foot turn, unfortunately. That's the only thing I'll criticize, but that's a minor thing. They do look really good. The head sculpts are amazing. The weapons look great. And again, you can guys let me know about the accuracy of the equipment and stuff they come with. They do look fantastic. And you know, you can gear them all up if you want, and then you'll be ready to parachute into behind enemy lines. 9! We must kill the Americans! Blow them to smithereens! Set up your little forces. These guys will be set the videos and have a little battle. Great looking kit. A little bit tedious, a little bit fiddly of all the other bits and bobs they come with. But it's fantastic to have another set of Americans, another set of Allied forces to go against the 4 sets of Germans and SS officers that have been released so far by Joy Toy. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toy signing out, saying please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back soon with more Awesome Action Toy videos for you guys. Loads of content, World War II, sci-fi, fantasy, vehicles, blah, 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 blah. Check out my stuff. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.